Many people believe that dinosaurs lived and died out millions of years ago. But let me tell you, we actually have found forensic evidence that shows beyond any shadow of doubt that dinosaurs existed in the recent past and in fact coexisted with humans. And so I'm going to go ahead and cover that evidence in this video. When scientists look at dinosaur graves, one of the things that we're finding that shouldn't be there is blood vessels, blood cells, and soft tissues, and even skin pigments, and nerve cells, FEX proteins, histones. The list goes on and on. We find tons of bioorganic material that should have degraded by now if these dinosaurs really did exist millions of years ago. And here you can see blood cells taken from a Triceratops rib that are still intact. And here's a beautiful picture of some collagen that was recovered from one of their graves. Collagen is actually the soft material that exists within our bones, and it breaks down very rapidly after an organism dies. Scientists have done detailed studies on the half-life of collagen, and they've determined that the most amount of time that collagen can last in a dead organism would be 900,000 years. And so is it possible that if we're finding collagen in dinosaur bones, that they existed millions of years ago, when collagen only lasts for 900,000 years at max? Paleontologists are also finding nerve cells that are still in dinosaur graves. How is that possible? Could a nerve cell, just one nerve cell, last for a million years? It would have broken down over that deep time period. And so let me tell you this, that the assertion that dinosaurs lived millions of years ago, that man has never seen a living dinosaur, is false, because we are finding forensic evidence that shows, beyond any shadow of doubt, that dinosaurs did in fact coexist with humans. They lived in the recent past. You could even Google, how long can nerve cells last after an organism dies? And the answer is that nerve cells, or neurons, essentially last for the lifespan of the organism they are in, meaning they do not survive for any significant period of time after an organism dies. C14 is now being discovered inside of dinosaur bones, and remember, we've covered in previous videos that it only lasts a maximum of 50,000 years. And so is it possible that C14, which is constantly exiting whatever material that it's inside of, could be sitting inside of dinosaur bones for deep time? And the answer to that question is simply no. Here's a dinosaur that they call Skippy. He's supposedly 113 million years old, but yet he has an intact intestines, colon, liver, muscles, and a windpipe. These organs are not even fossilized. They're just bioorganic materials that have been sitting in the ground. And you should ask this question, how long could a liver of a dead organism last for? Definitely not millions of years. It's fortunate that it even remained intact for even a few thousand years. And here are some remains of a nodosaur that was recently found, and contained within it were unfossilized, intact intestines. How is that possible? How could intestines of any organism just be sitting in the ground for millions of years? It's impossible. If you were to travel to the Sahara Desert and you found an ice sculpture there, you probably wouldn't assume that it had been sitting there for a long time. It had to have formed recently. And so dinosaur skin, blood vessels, blood cells, hemoglobin within the blood cells, FEX proteins, histones, keratin, all of these bioorganic materials in the graves are what indicate to us, and anybody who is really thinking about this, that what the Bible has said is true, that land-dwelling animals, like the dinosaurs, were created at the same time as man.